So new 40-foot open range trailer with a gooseneck hitch on it, which I brought home with the Chevy. Didn't have enough clearance between the bed and the trailer, and I've done some damage to the corners of my bed, so we're converting back to fifth wheel for when we use the newer Ford, so we don't tear that thing up. So 2014 F250 with a lift, and the fifth wheel mounting hardware came with absolutely pointless instructions. Not just pointless, but pointless and confusing. So this video is very quick and gives you exactly what you need to understand how to fit these rails. Side-to-side position is, of course, obvious. Front-to-back position, the instructions actually do give that one dimension, which is 32.5, which on this truck does not work. It has to be 32.25. You'll realize the significance of that 1/4 inch in just a minute. Those rails bolt down either side of the bed support rails. Hence, the positioning of everything is very, very critical. So what the instructions did not tell us, which we wished we knew, was mount the fifth wheel to its rails first, and then put it in the truck as an assembly, then line it up side to side, then line it up as best you can from the back to the back edge. And if you do all those, you'll save hours of work, because the issue is these brackets that it comes with, albeit flimsy and I don't like them, but it's what it came with, have to bolt either side of the support rail for the bed. They also come with 3 bolts, 3-bolt holes, and nothing tells you anything about the orientation or how to mount it in the truck. It does tell you the 4-inch one goes at the front and the 4-inch at the back and 6-inch at the front, but that's all it tells you. So position the bed up top, drill a pilot hole, make sure the pilot hole has sufficient clearance from the side of the bed rail to get your bracket in. This is the tightest and nastiest of all of them. Bolt them down top to bottom so that they fit flush against the rails of the truck, and then of course drill your 4 holes. The concern and the frustration we had was that we could not believe that it did not line up with some of the factory holes that are available for these kind of things. It did not line up with any of them, which was driving us a little nuts. So if you align it in the way that I've said, it goes in nice and quick. This side, of course, is a reverse of the other. So brackets go in front of the bed rails. We had to notch that bracket out to give clearance for the fuel line. So the fuel line didn't rub against the bracket. The other thing it does not tell you is the def tank has to come out, or at least loose, so you can move it to get your hand up behind there to put the bolts through the holes and to avoid drilling through the tank. But there were no wires, no brake lines, no nothing behind the frame rail where we were drilling. All of the wires and brake lines follow the bottom of the frame rail. So that's the simplest and easiest description. And I wish there was a YouTube video like this when we started. So just to quickly recap, put the fifth wheel assembly together, center it side to side, measure back from the back edge of the bed 32.5 inches. In our case, it was 32.25, not 32.5. Drill, we used an 1/8 inch pilot hole in the 10 locations. Then go underneath and make sure you can see where the pilot holes come through. In hindsight, doing it again, I would like to have hit the web where the bed rail joins the bottom of the bed, but we did miss that, which would actually mean that this would be about 1/4 of an inch further forwards on this side, but on the other side, that extra 1/4 inch mattered hugely because we could not get the bracket in the right location. So forget locating the brackets on the rail. Locate the bracket either side of the bed. First, bolt it through the bed. Second, align it against the frame and drill through the frame and bolt it in. In total, it took us 1.5 hours after we figured out how to do it. And the instructions, don't even read them, just throw them away. They're pointless. But this works well. End of little project. Now we have to hook the trailer up, put the fifth wheel hitch on the trailer, and we're ready to go tomorrow. So that worked nicely. Fifth wheel's in the truck, fifth wheel is on the trailer. The height is beautiful between the truck and the trailer, but the truck is lifted, which is dropping the rear of the trailer a little low, but removing the lift is tough. But the fifth wheel stuff is all successful, all finished, all bolted in, it all works. I only bolted 8 of those bolts in for now just to make sure it was going to work, and I've got to finish wiring it, but that is good. How about that? That's a behemoth. Open range Roma with the bunk room at the back. It's a 2-bedroom apartment on wheels. It's very nice.